So a genogram is really the first big piece of trauma work that I have people do when they join my childhood trauma groups. It's a very powerful exercise that is essentially about your family tree, but what we're looking for is all the toxicity and all the dysfunction as a way to be able to tell your story about how you grew up and all the adults sort of around you and make more sense about that whole family system. It's not about genealogy or maiden names or dates or where people came from. It is really about the generational transmission of things like depression, anxiety, toxic parenting, personality disorders, issues in relationships like codependency, triangulation, all of that stuff. And in this e-course, you'll be learning and watching me go through a fictitious genogram, showing you guys how to put one together, talking about how to put one together, and I walk through a hypothetical toxic family system that spells out all of these points. A genogram is an excellent exercise if you don't fully know where your stuck feelings and your stuck places come from. It's also excellent if you struggle with your family's version of what happened and what the truth is compared to your own version of what happened and what the truth is. This is an excellent sort of exercise for that. It's good if you struggle with making sense about your present intimacy stuck places or the patterns that you have in relationships and friendships. And it's also really good if you struggle feeling connected with your own story about sort of like, was that all real? Was it the truth? You'll be spelling out and taking a deep dive into what your life was like from the ages of 0 to 18. Doing a genogram helps build clarity about our issues and where they come from. It also helps build resiliency and truth-telling about ourselves and our story. It's very helpful in gaining insight and more about your own lost history. When you sort of do sort of a timeline at the bottom of the genogram and think about what were the major chapters in that childhood. And lastly, the genogram is a very powerful discovery tool, and it's why I have clients start there for clarity and validation in inner child work. And the work that I do, putting it together is part one, and then sharing it with somebody is part two, a therapist or a safe person, or if you're in a community of other sort of trauma survivors, this is an excellent thing to be able to present. And so I hope it's helpful to you. I encourage you guys to check it out, and it's an excellent, excellent place to start when you're looking at childhood trauma work.